Let's talk temperance. If you're new here, my name is B. Lewis. I'm an artist, author, and tarot enthusiast, and this is my journey to completion for my dream project, the Cosmic Gateways Tarot Deck. In the last couple of episodes, we talked about some of the symbolism and hidden meanings, and also where my inspiration comes from for the cards that I've completed so far. In this week's episode, we'll talk all about the creation process of one of my favorite cards, Temperance. Temperance of the Cosmic Gateways Tarot Deck is a card that I contemplate a lot. The image itself is a bit of a departure from the source material and hasn't been without its controversy, but in principle, it's something I feel myself being drawn to and reminded of often. The phrase that comes to mind with temperance is finding the magic in the in-between. This involves taking life as it comes and avoiding extremes, going with the flow and just riding the wave of life. This sounds like a simple and probably an obvious concept, but as I was creating this card, I found myself confronted with the fact that for a very long time, I had been living in contrast to my own essence. I had been existing in an extreme state of being. So I've always been very self-aware. I think that comes with being an older sibling, right? But rather than use that self-awareness to help me grow and evolve, I would use that self-awareness to benefit others or to make others feel comfortable. I would downplay my desires, living for the expectations of others and just shrinking, feeling as though that's what I had to do in order to allow people to thrive, or so I thought. Or I wouldn't enjoy the fruits of life as to not be a bad example for those who looked up to me. I was living in a way that was really and truly extreme and abusive to self. In my mind, though, the other end of that spectrum meant living without care or consideration for others, which frankly goes against my nature. Existing in either extreme was unhealthy for me. As I'm studying this card and preparing for its creation, I got the idea that for my journey, and I'm sure for many of you, one of the keys to happiness and fulfillment is balance. Finding that magic in the in-between. Yes, I meditate, and I'm all for love and light. But I also curse, sometimes like a sailor, and I enjoy the occasional magical fungi, which would go into the love and light category. But the point is, I've learned to find balance and ride the wave of life. Temperance means finding moderation in action, thought, or feeling. It comes from the Latin word temperare, which is an inflection of the word tempero, which means to combine or blend properly. So when I was looking to create this card, I wanted to illustrate duality, which pops up in tarot quite a bit. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, Temperance is illustrated as an androgynous angel standing on both land and sea, pouring water between two cups. For the Temperance card and the Cosmic Gateways Tarot, the angel becomes two albino celestials, one male and one female. I wanted to pull the energy of the androgynous angel apart to clearly illustrate duality, or two poles. These are also two extremes, being characterized by gender. I made them twins as to say that they are two parts of one whole, right? And though their gender represents the two extremes, they are illustrated in a way that demonstrates fluidity through their separation and also in their appearance, while allowing them to come together with the pouring of the water, emphasizing those elements of life flowing together as author Rachel Pollack describes it. I wanted the celestials to have not only a floaty feeling, but I wanted to emphasize the idea of flow and getting into the flow state. A gateway is then formed between them to remind the reader of finding that magic in the in-between. As mentioned in last week's video, the gateways of this deck signify an area of life that you must experience and come to an understanding of in order to move into the next. In this case, learning to find balance, enjoying the process, and focusing on the journey, not so much the destination. It's easily one of my favorite cards. It's both mesmerizing for me to look at, like it just is, but also it's a very useful lesson to contemplate on. What are your thoughts on Temperance? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, peace.
You